That fear is good. Don't get me wrong. Like, that fear is important because, at the end of the day, you can't afford to make lots of stupid mistakes, right? You do need to be willing to take risk, but you can only afford to take so much. If you take a risk and then it fails, and then you take another risk and it fails, and you take another risk and it fails, sooner or later, you're going to run out of money or risk tolerance, right? But if you're not willing to take that risk, if you're not willing to buy that product, you can't ever sell it, right?
Exactly.
So, it has to be a calculated risk, but risk is the thing that makes entrepreneurs money. The difference is the 95% of the population who wants a 9-to-5 job will trade long-term wealth for short-term guarantees. I feel like there's a term, one single term that defines whether or not you'll be successful as an entrepreneur, and it's grit, right? Are you willing to outwork absolutely everyone else in the room? And if the answer is no, Desperate Housewives is on at 6:00 and I got to get home, maybe it's not for you, right? But if the answer is, look, I don't care. 3 or 4 nights ago, I came in at 6:50 a.m. and I left my office at 9:30, right? Putting in a 15-hour day is not weird at all for me. But I'm doing something that I love, right? And I wouldn't trade that for the world. Where do you guys find yourself running into that risk, right? Where do you find yourself running into the place where you don't know where to go next? So how many of you own a business, right? How many of you have started something?
I wanted to make a comment on what you were saying. Sorry to keep jumping in, but I wanted to say, like, oh snap, I forgot. Okay, give me a second. Okay, what I was gonna say was, you said that like you have to outwork people, and like being in college and starting my own business and trying to grow it and like develop myself on like an educational level, financial level, and all that stuff. It is kind of difficult because I find myself trying to balance classes and clubs, and also trying to like, add stuff to my business when it just randomly comes to me in the middle of the day. So it's like really kind of sometimes hard to balance.
I can completely understand, but there's an idea that things have never moved this fast before, and they will never be this slow again. I promise you, in 5 or 10 years, if you chase entrepreneurship especially, you'll look back and go, man, when I was in college, I had so much free time. I thought I was busy, but I had no idea. Because I tell you this because it's relevant, right? I have 4 small children. Like, my oldest child is 9. She turns 9 this Monday, and my youngest is 3. So my house is chaos. I own 3 different companies right now. I work 12 to 15-hour days on a pretty regular basis. There's not a time I'm not answering cell phone, text messages, emails, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And sometimes I ask myself if it's worth it, right? Like, there's that creeping, oh man, I could fire all of my employees tomorrow. I could cut myself down to my top 5 clients, and I could make more money than I had ever made in my life by double, right? And I could do that. I could do that tomorrow. But the difference is that wouldn't last. And sooner or later, one of those clients would fall off, and I wouldn't be able to get another one, and then another one, and then another one. And in 10 years, I wouldn't have any, right? Because if you're not growing, you're dying. And for me, that growth, that pressure to keep doing better, to keep hitting that next ceiling, whatever that is that's enough for me, right? That's what drives me. And if you sit down and you actually track your time, right? Over the course of the week, you figure out, what do, right? And right now, I guarantee you all feel busy. I feel busy, right? Constantly feel busy. But then I find myself like, I'm watching TV, or I watch a movie, or I slept in on Saturday, or whatever. And you can really, really, really quickly find a couple hours in your week that are open to work on your business, to work on your dreams. You can change your productivity levels and focus on, Are we busy for the sake of being busy? Are we busy because I'm really doing something? And I don't want to discount your busy, right? Like that's not fair of me because I don't know your story. But in my life, what I've found is at every junction of my life, I would look at my life and go, I'm so busy, I can't possibly add anything else. And then I got into college. I'm so busy, man. I used to think I was busy, but I had no idea. And then I got a little bit further in life, and I graduated college, and I was working full time, and I was involved in the Young Professionals organization, the Carbondale Young Professionals, and I was always at events. And I was always working, and I was kind of working on my side hustle at nighttime. I'd be like, I'm so busy, I can't possibly keep up. And then I founded my own company. I got married. I went, I'm so busy, I can't possibly get any busier. Right? There's no hours left in the day. And then I look back and remember that I was married, I had no kids, and I had one job that was doing that much business in the grand scheme of things. Today I look back at that, Nick, and go like, man, you didn't know how good you had it. So I don't want to trivialize, right? You're busy. I know you're busy, but there's always opportunity to grow, and there's always opportunity to chase things that really, really matter. And sometimes that opportunity comes from saying no. It comes from looking at everything that's in your life and deciding what's really important and what's not. It comes from defining your goals really, really quickly. Where do you want to be in 10 years? And are you doing something right now that will catapult you on that path to get to where you want to be in 10 years? Or are you just crossing your fingers and hoping that you magically get there, right? I always would say, I wanted to be a millionaire, right? Like that was one of my things. And I never had a time frame for it. I never had a plan for it. I didn't know how I was to become a millionaire. Like I had no clue. But I had this goal. But if it's just a goal with no context, it's a wish, right? You're not going to hit that goal. What are you doing today to become a millionaire? What are you doing today to become the person who founds a medical company or a marketing company? What are you doing to set yourself up for that future? And it's something that if you really stop and think, it will change the way that you spend your hours in your day. So I guess I want to challenge you guys with something, right? What can you do in the next 3 days, the next 72 hours to change where you go in the next 5 years, right? That's the golden ticket. Who could you pick up the phone and call? What could you do differently to set future you up for wild success? Your network is bigger and more powerful than you could ever possibly imagine. But most of us go through life completely not utilizing it, right? We miss every opportunity that's in front of us because our head's down. We're not focused. We're not seizing opportunity, right?